Hi winners, thank you so much for tuning into the third episode of Winning Mentality. My name is Hailey and I hope you are all having an amazing day. Today, as promised, we're going to talk about passion and purpose. Yes, finally, I could not wait to do this video and dispel the crazy myths behind passion and purpose, and to also maybe help you be a little less miserable in your life, just a bit, tiny bit. Anyway, I'm just gonna dive straight into it. So what is a passion and what is a purpose? A passion, basically in short, is something that you love to do, something that makes you happy. A purpose is your why, your important factor, like what important thing are you bringing to the table to be left by, like by the time you go, what's going to be written on your obituary, your tombstone. That's your purpose. And never ever feel bad if you feel like you found your passion but you've not found your purpose, because finding your passion is the route to finding your purpose. So it's a journey and we're all taking it together. Now, there was something crazy I was thinking about the other day. I have a lot of alone time in my room, and I was just thinking that when I was 8 years old, I really used to love painting. I used to paint all the time, everywhere, and on walls, even in the living room, and my parents used to go crazy, but they would love it in the end because they were like, this is so artistic, and especially for your age. But unfortunately, growing up in Africa, stuff like art isn't something that you're told makes money. So my dream kind of, died as I grew older. But I remembered my 8-year-old self, even after all the punishments I'd get, even after all the things my parents would tell me, I would still love to do it. I was like, I do not care what people think. And it's funny that we lose that sense as we grow up. So, tip number 1. Always ask yourself, what would 8-year-old me feel like right now? Would he be happy with my decisions? Or would he be unhappy, or she, for that matter? So basically, on the path to finding your purpose, you need to not listen, but you know what I mean. Not listen to the haters who bring you down, and be able to risk it all for something that you love, just for the sheer joy of it. Tip number 2. If it embarrasses you, you need to go for it. Yes, if it embarrasses you, you need to go for it. Let me tell you guys something, and it's tied with the first thing that I told you about what would your 8-year-old self think about your decisions. Most people don't end up doing the things that they like. They already know their passion, but finding their purpose is so difficult because, you don't want to get embarrassed. You feel like, oh, if I do this, the public will feel this way about it. But let me tell you something. The people who are successful right now did it because they were willing to take that risk of failing in front of everyone, of being booed on stage, of, like, for example, I just got into music. I do rap nowadays, and I am the worst dancer ever. And it's stuff I've gotten into, and I know I'm going to be super embarrassed, but I love it so much, and I know what my purpose is, and it's to inspire. This is why Winning Mentality is here as well. So think about something that scares the ish out of you. Like, scares, because let me tell you something, you will not have lived a full life if you live hiding from your embarrassments. A life without embarrassments is like putting your head in the sand. You know how ostriches operate? Yeah, that's how you're going to be operating. So choose. If you want to find your purpose, you need to be ready to make a fool out of yourself. Tip number 3. So, on our journey to finding our life purposes, you're kind of conflicted because you really want to do something important. So how I look at it in a simpler manner is, this world is really messed up. Like, guys, you know this. Like, the world is messed up and there are so many problems. So where you could start is just identifying something that's important to you. When you identify something that's important to you and make your small, contribution to it, it leads up to you finding your purpose. And we're really young, and I don't know why people like to close in their thinking and their minds and time in terms of experiences. But when you're young is when you need to try out all of this stuff. You need to be able to help out and make a difference, because it ends up adding to your inner happiness, Tip number 4. What are you willing to sacrifice for? What are you willing to get literal proverbial-ish thrown in your face and smooched over and over for? That's how you find your purpose. Think about that one thing that you could do over and over, whether someone had a gun, stuck to your head, or you were forced to do it for the rest of your life. And that's one of the more, kind of forceful ways of finding your purpose. And how I used to do it actually was through meditation. Just sometimes we don't listen to ourselves. We have so many voices in our head the whole day with stress. Oh, I haven't paid rent. Oh, I haven't paid electricity. Oh, I have school. I have boyfriend issues, girlfriend issues, But you never sit down and listen to that kind of, that part of your conscience that's drawn as a tiny angel on your shoulder. That's who you find when you have quiet moments, when you just breathe and be still. Like for those of you who are religious, that's where that comes from. You gain a lot from listening to yourself and your inner voice. Tip number 5. As you grow, you evolve. And that's something that not everybody, remembers as they go through life. You need to know that if you couldn't do something when you were younger, you are in a much better position to do it now. Let me tell you a small story. There was once this baby elephant, and its owner used to tie it with a really tiny string to a normal pole, and because it couldn't get off, its whole life it felt like it was restrained there, and it couldn't move unless the owner came himself to undo the knot. But this elephant, an elephant when it's big, it's like a ton, it's like so many cars put together, and it can't break through off this string. And that's how we go through life. You feel like you've been made to believe that you can't do something, but as you grow older and as you gain knowledge, you're in a better position to. So sometimes give yourself credit. And that's the final tip I have for you guys on this winning mentality journey of ours. And I really hope you guys get a head start in finding your passion and your purpose. Please tune in next time for episode 4, where we're going to be talking about time. So that's going to be super interesting. Thanks for watching.